Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is going to do his second manga must-read for tonight. And this one is called Freezing. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard about Freezing, since Freezing did have an anime, but the manga is ongoing. It is still going, and in my opinion, the manga literally rapes the anime, okay? But this series is my favorite battle ecchi manga. My favorite battle ecchi manga right now, by far. And the only other battle ecchi manga that I read sparingly is Sekide. And I'll be honest, I think Freezing pwned. I mean, literally pwned Sekide. Like, it's not even funny. And one of the main reasons why Freezing can pwn Sekide is because Freezing is a seinen, and seinen can touch upon a lot of themes, and they're not restricted like shonen or shoujo. At the same time, they are dedicated to a sense of realism, and they can hit these themes much more darker and with so much intensity and ferocity, where it really does send home the message, like holy shit, you know, like holy shit. So that being said, Freezing, okay? Freezing centers around two main characters, Satellizer L. Bridget, and I think it's Ao Kazuya. Yeah, no, I'll flip it around. Kazuya Aoi, or yeah, Aoi, yeah, Aoi. And basically, and right here, I'm gonna give you guys a brief synopsis that is on a manga scan site for Freezing, and basically it says right here, the series revolves around an extraterrestrial force called the Nova that are invading Earth, and genetically engineered girls called Pandoras and their male partners called Limiters are created to combat them. The story centers around Kazuya Aoi, a limiter whose sister was a Pandora, and Satellizer L. Bridget, a Pandora with a cold personality who was known as the Untouchable Queen. Both are enrolled in West Genetics Academy both are enrolled in West Genetics Academy, a special school that trains Pandoras and Limiters alike to fight against the Nova. Now, before I get started with the actual, the actual background and in-depth story of these people, I want to say one thing. The Nova are fucking powerful. The Nova are really fucking powerful. It's like when you first see a Nova, and when you see what they do to Pandora, it's not even funny. It's just like, yo, honestly, I would head for the hills and beyond. Like seriously, like I would run ass, man. Form and everything, man. Like going like Trackstar Productions, form and everything, man. We're like, no, screw that shit. I'm not, dude. These Nova are scary as shit. But the thing about this series is that, and this where we hop into the actual characters. These Pandora, they are the females with high combat ability. All right, they can use techniques such as the Axle Turn, the Tempest Turn. They have Volt weapons that they can create out of thin air. And these Pandora have something called stigma, and the stigma are like these little hexagon cubes that are embedded into their backs. And these hexagon cubes give, or not, yeah, cubes, hexagon, but these hexagon pieces give them the ability of a Nova, okay? And they're using the power of the Nova in order to combat the Nova themselves. And the Limiters are the same way. The Limiters also have these hexagon pieces embedded into their back. Now, the thing about Ao Kazuya is that his actual cells, contain stigma of the Nova. So he is a special limiter. And if you're wondering, the males who have the stigma on their backs are called limiters. They have the ability to freeze an entire area. Basically, it prevents you from moving and and all kind of stuff that they indulge you later on in the series. While the Pandoras have the combat ability and the Volt weapons. So it is from a general standpoint of manga, it is the reverse. Whereas usually it's the males who take the leading position. In this series, it's the females who take the leading positions. And just to indulge you with other characters that are in the series that have relevance to the series, aside from Satellizer and Kazuya, there is Kazuya's older sister who died in the last Nova invasion, but she is a very, very, very famous Pandora. Everyone knows about her. Everyone from citizens to military to, you know, other Pandora, everyone knows about her. And it's for a good reason. So, and basically, and she's also a special Pandora, because the thing about it is that Pandoras can usually only hold a certain amount of stigma. Like, they can hold maybe 5 or 6 or 7 at most, okay? Kazuya's older sister, Kazuha, she was able to hold, I think it was like 28 stigma, or some like really high number, like some really high unheard of number. And then she had a percent rate of like 90 plus. Like, it was a really high percent rate, meaning that she was a very, very powerful Pandora. Very powerful. But you find out a lot more about her later on. Also, there is another character who is a very relevant character, since she does try and compete with Kazuya, or correction, she does try and compete with Satellizer for the rights to Kazuya. Because what happens is that a Pandora must choose a freshman limiter. A Pandora must choose a freshman limiter, because that's when their sync rate can be solidified a lot stronger during their baptism. And like, you'll find out a lot more. You'll find out a lot more about it later on. But her name is Rana. Okay, Rana is and she's from like Tibet. But Rana is actually a very relevant. She's actually a very relevant character. She has the whole entire like martial arts thing going on for her, and I mean she's very powerful too. And we see her compete with Satellizer all the time, and it's kind of cool to see how those three interact with each other. And then the last relevant character who is really relevant later on in the series is Chiffon Fairchild, and Chiffon Fairchild is the #1 Pandora in all of West Genetics. If you're wondering, there is a ranking system. The ranking system is it goes by year, and then each year has the top 5 or top 10 Pandora. Yeah, top 10 Pandora. And if you're wondering, Satellizer is the strongest sophomore Pandora. Chiffon Fairchild is the strongest senior Pandora by far. By far. So she rapes. She really does rape. And I mean, ultimately speaking, the characters are interactive. They're fun. They have their moments. They in my opinion, they interact very well with they interact very well with each other. And then of course the series has its themes. It touches upon a lot of themes. The existence of human existence. It touches upon the meaning of justice, the nature of justice. It also touches upon very specific themes like rape, and you know, like they really do go in. They really do go in, and it surprises you because you don't expect. You normally I wouldn't expect this type of in-depth look at some of these themes in a battle ecchi, but they have it. They have it on lock. So, in my personal opinion, this series is a manga must-read. I say check it out. In my opinion, the best battle ecchi manga that's out right now that I've read so far. So, I mean, like, you can check it out for yourself. The link's gonna be down below. So, this is the King of Lightning. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day. And please remember, if you don't like it, that's cool, alright? If you don't like it, okay, fine. I'm not gonna sit here and complain and bitch you don't like it. Fair enough, okay? But all I'm gonna say is give it a chance. If you like it, good. If you don't like it, fair enough. So I'll see you guys later. Signing off.